Okay, welcome back everybody. It's been a while for sure, as you can tell in the background. Got the radio up and going. As you can see over here, I have got the AVC being monitored. Alright, a lot of things have happened since the last video. I said we'd take a look underneath. First off, I had my surgery. It went well. Took me a little bit longer to get over it than I thought, but I did get over it. Went on my hike on the Appalachian Trail. I hiked 21 days. I got 311 miles, averaged almost 15 miles a day. And I just come to realize that I was going to have to do that till August to finish it. Or if I slowed down to enjoy it more, it would take me to November, and I just made the decision to pull out right then. So after 3 weeks, 21 days, 311 miles, I terminated the attempt. Don't regret it. I did enjoy parts of it, but some of it was just work. All right, since then, I aligned this, but I kept losing the AVC voltage. I ended up changing multiple parts in the AVC circuit, even though they were in tolerance. And then today I said, well, I've got to get this off my bench. I got to get this video. I've got another project I want to get started. So I just plugged it up and I started monitoring the AVC voltage. Well, I noticed it started clicking down a few volts at a time, and then it finally got down, settled down to about 0.7, 0.8 volts, and the AVC was no longer operable. So I flipped it back over, and I started removing tubes until I started eliminating capacitors. The AVC, the capacitor that the AVC is across, also some that would might bleed it off. I thought the capacitor may be leaking, so I didn't change them, but I swapped some of them out, just clipped some in to no avail. So what I ended up doing is started pulling tubes until I got to the 6K7, the IF transformer, or the IF amplifier tube, which is this one right here, and I swapped it out and it has quit. So apparently a grid to plate leak, as the tube heated up, developed a leak, and it started bleeding off the AVC voltage. So got a new one in there, another tube. It's holding steady, been playing all day. And so now I'm going to go through the alignment and don't know if I showed you in the last one, but I put in the fuse. I put in a power resistor to drop the AC voltage to 115 volts. And in the process of troubleshooting, I changed out some more of the resistors and capacitors in the AVC circuit, like I say, to no avail. Turned out it was the 6K7 tube had leakage in it. So I'm going to align it and start putting it back together, and then I'll show you the final product. Now, I told you what I did to fix the thing. Let me show you the steps I took getting there. I took the long way. I was grasping at straws, guys, but I just couldn't get a handle on what was happening in the circuit. Later on, I did another test of the tube on my tube tester, and I initially could see that when I'd mash the test button, it would go up and then it would come back to a certain point. I don't think the tube tester was putting it under sufficient load to bring the leakage on down like the radio would. So I guess I should have noticed that on the initial test of the tubes, but I didn't. I missed that one. So let's look and see what all I went through trying to figure this one out. Okay, I took a little strip of brass that I get at Ace Hardware, and I cut it in two, about 1/8 of an inch or so, and I did some slight bending, and I will attempt to put it right there and solder it in place, and should be able to bend that over. Okay, I was able to solder. This was really hard to solder. I had to take some 80 grit sandpaper and buff it up, to scruff it up pretty good to get that tab put on it. So I think that's going to work. Doesn't look like much, but it should be underneath and won't be able to see it maybe. All right, let me show you the tab that I made for that. Now, also should have went ahead and put another one here. When I got done, I got to looking at it and realized that there had been a clip there. I didn't break that one off. That had been off in the past. So somebody may have replaced this or something in the past. I don't know. Anyway, I should have probably put another one there, but it's really secure, so I'm not going to fool with it at this point in time. I've got an order in to buy one of the 2 meg with a 1 meg tap. So I'm just going to put this in temporarily, and hopefully I'll get that fairly soon, and then we can try it. You remember I said that some of these were broken off, so I went to replace it. I showed you I had a replacement. Well, the replacement, the holes were wrong. Okay, so what I ended up doing is taking the new one, or the replacement, apart and taking the plugs out of it. These little plugs, and I took them out and rebuilt the old one so that it would fit back in the hole. So I've got it going back again. And I've been having trouble with the AVC, but so far it's been doing okay, and it may very well been that. And I don't know whether it was the volume control or the tube socket. Who knows? Okay, having some issues with the AVC. So what I'm going to do is these 2 capacitors just prior to this second detector AVC circuit are located inside the second IF way up in here. So what I'm going to do is I may go ahead and take this IF can out, may tear it up, but I'm going to go inside and look and see if I'm just going to go look inside and check those capacitors out and see if they're bad or what have you, and maybe leaking and it's causing the problem before it gets to the AVC circuit. So that's where we're at. Okay, I'm going to try to explain what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I've taken this IF apart. Inside this IF is the 51,000 ohm resistor here. It also has a couple of 100 picofarad capacitors, which are fed to ground in the center, and they come from each side of the 51K resistor. Okay, then of course you've got 19A and B, which are the capacitors that you tune from the top of the can. Now these are fixed, but these tune your IF, and they're all built into one small unit, and I want to show you the best I can. Okay, now let's take the first layer of this. It's in layers. We're going to take this one. This is the first 100 picofarad capacitor, and it goes to ground, and it also ties to one end of the 490K resistor and the 51K resistor. Now the 51K resistor has been removed, and I'm going to put it back in. I'm going to replace it with another one. It was 92% or so, but it's since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and take it out. Now you can see this wire connected to this plate. This is a ground, so this is the one end of that 100 picofarad capacitor. Okay, there's a piece of mica in there. There's another plate on the bottom, maybe you can see it, and it goes over to this particular pin, and it goes down, and I've got it marked where it goes, and it connects to the 490K resistor. The other end of the 51K resistor goes to this pin, which is not there, but it is this deal. It's two plates connected to this one terminal. Well, it will go down into this slot, okay, and the 51K resistor will connect here to over to here. Now there'll be a piece of mica go here, and so now this plate forms the other 100 picofarad capacitor. There'll be a piece of mica go in here, and we've got another plate over here that will go in between here and here, and it'll go down in there, mica in between each one of them. And so this part, this particular plate and this plate will be your that will be your 19B, and then these two plates will be the 19C and D. I was having trouble with the AVC working for a long time, and then just all of a sudden just quit. If you'll remember, I rebuilt this. I didn't rebuild it, I just took it apart, and this potentiometer for the volume control, and cleaned it out and ended up putting that tab on there. Talked to several people. The part number that it calls for is a 335216, which is a 2 meg potentiometer with a 1 meg tap. This is a 1 meg potentiometer with a 500K tap, and this number is a 3215-2, and it calls for a 5216. So I feared that this was not the correct one for this. So I had Mark Pat, I guess I'm saying that correctly, make me a potentiometer to replace it, and it is a 2 meg with a 1 meg tap. So we'll try that and see how that works. So after several months, of course there was some interruptions there, several months and all that effort, chasing my tail, grasping straws, whatever, determined it was finally just a tube leaking, which maybe I should have caught it in the initial test on the tube tester. Maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, so I aligned it and put it on the bench. Bands were in pretty good shape that night, so I'll give you a little on the air demonstration and then a final after I put it in the cabinet. Alright, let's have a little demonstration here. I've done the alignment. Now this is on the broadcast band. It's about 8:30 at night, so bands are in pretty good shape. Uncovered the speaker to get the maximum sound. Hear a little flutter due to the band conditions.
Places he could potentially fit.
Well, the strong sense is that Rogers wants to be out west. In fact,
it's got a real good rich sound to it after the alignment. So along. There's an ESPN station. A lot on the band tonight. Now if we just put this back in the case and it works. Band is open tonight. Let's go to the broadcast band, not the broadcast, but the shortwave band.
Lawlessness without understanding.
Just on the family magazine subscription. Sign up today. Just go to aioclub.org/radio.
Got a real good sound to it. Let's put this in the case and see if it'll play. Okay, I've got it put back into the cabinet. As you can see, I didn't do a whole lot of repairs. I cleaned it up with Howard's Restore Finish and then waxed it, and that was after the alignment and test and everything. I wanted to keep this rustic, antique looking, but I wanted it to play really well, and it does. It plays pretty good. So let's see how it plays.